Hello, hello, Diva. Hola, my friends. All right, I have a session that we're doing today. It is called Manifesting Techniques. We're going to go over some techniques for manifesting. All right, once again, I am Diva here with you. We're going to do this thing because this is a fun session to me where I get to go over some techniques for those who want to manifest. Hello, Ramon, my other friends. Hello. We're going to do this where we get into how the universe responds to energies. We're going to get into learning how to create your future. Danielle, Nutria, my friend. Hello. Hola, amigo. Learning to create your future, the different forms of payments, because I always talk about you have to pay for everything. If you want it, you're going to have to pay for it. So, we're going to talk about the different forms of payment. We'll talk about, hey, Uncle, hey, Brian, glad y'all could join me. I hope you stay with me. We're going to do some manifesting, the power of the feminine energy. We're going to talk about what it is, and we need to have that coffee. We're going to talk about what the feminine energy is. We're going to talk, and then we're going to go into some actual techniques that I've been using to manifest. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun. This is a fun session for me. All of them are fun. All these sessions are fun. But, I've been wanting to get into this one, and so I felt like I'd go ahead and drop it tonight. I hope you guys find this information useful to you. Sergio, Dario, GP, Parada, what's going on? Tammy, hey, let's do this. Hola. I love Tucumán. Me gusta Tucumán. Mi amigos in Argentina. Hola. All right, so essays in inglés. Necesito practicar mi español más, pero un día para vos. En español solamente para vos un día, pero ahora in inglés. My friends in Estados Unidos in North America. Brian, Funky Spin, what's going on, brother? So we're gonna have some fun. Yamila Lopez, my friends in Argentina, checking in with me, and I want to just tell them I really do appreciate them. I know I'm not good at saying this in Spanish, but amigos in Argentina, te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho. All right, let's get on this. Okay, we're gonna do some. We're gonna do some manifesting techniques tonight. Just go over them. If you all have any questions, like I said, if you have any questions, any pushbacks, let me know. All right, so we're talking about manifesting and manifesting techniques. Now, I'm dealing with this because a lot of people ask me what I do. And I tell them, I sing for a living, but really what I do is I really work for the universe. I do everything that comes to me is coming to me because of universal energies. Now, you can understand what I do is I sing. I mean, this is my love. I just do my love, what I love to do, my passion. And I might do it maybe 2 or 3 nights a week. During the summer, it's like 3-4 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But during the winter, it's 2-3 nights, maybe a little bit more than that. I might work maybe 6 hours out of the whole week at the most. And the rest of the day, the rest of my time is for me to do whatever I want to. Now, yes, part of this is me being able to sing, but I've been able to, for example, travel all of Argentina just singing. I had my little brownie business, and I would do that. So it was between the brownie business and the singing. I'm just doing what I love to do. I just go places and sing, and people show me a lot of love. And then, I make some money. I make pretty good money. And then I go somewhere else and sing and enjoy myself. And I make some money. And I go somewhere. That's what I do. But at the same time, I'm learning to use my energies, laws that I talk so much about, the universal laws. And I put a link for the laws in the description. So please check that out. If you don't have that, download it and know and start learning them. Because when you start manipulating those laws and respecting them for what they are, you're really going to start to see a change in your life. And that's exactly what I've been doing. So yeah, I sing for a living, but really I work for the universe, because not only do I sing, I have learned as I travel to use these different laws to my advantage to manifest things that I want. And so I'm going to talk about some of those things that I've manifested, and then we're going to go through some techniques on how you can manifest whatever you want. Okay. And now one of the things we have to remember and understand is that the universe is responding to our energies. Okay. And where do our energies start? They start right here in the mind. I talk about this all the time. You know, we're thinking these, you know, this three-dimensional, these things that we see are real, but it starts right up here in your mind. And once you get your mind in order, you can manifest and bring all kinds of things to you that you want, because we're not understanding. We're manifesting and bringing all types of things to us now, but a lot of it is negative, because that's what's in our minds, negativity. So when we start to change that, we start to see that we can bring so many more things into our existence, the positive things, all the things that we want, when we start thinking and knowing that we can have them, when we start feeling worthy of them. Now, again, the universe responds to your energy. Now, what I'm talking about when I say that, the universe doesn't know the difference between you actually going through something and it being something that you see on television. All right. So when your mind, you know, you're looking at, for example, when they're showing us these videos on television, all of this negative energy and all of, you know, racism and the police brutality and all this, and this is going into your mind, the universe is going to send that to you, because she doesn't know the difference between you actually experiencing it in your real life or seeing it on television. She doesn't know. And so when you keep feeding these images into your mind, she's going to give you back what she's seeing. She's just reflecting. And so this is why I say we got to be careful. We got to remember to turn the television on. We got to remember to be mindful of those who are around us. Who's around you? Now, again, and I talk about this, your mind is the key to whatever your productivity is. So as I'm talking about, you know, what's on the television, what you're watching on the television, what are they feeding you, what's going into your mind, and also be mindful of the people who are around you that have stinking thinking. All right, I got this from a preacher that said this, and it was so hilarious to me, but that's right. If you have people who are around you who have stinking thinking, who are always negative, always talking about negative stuff, or always talking about their weapon, and I got a gun, and I kill, and I shoot, and I do this negative, you want to run away from them. You want to rapidly remove them from your space. If it's somebody in your family, you want to limit the amount of time you're giving them to plant seeds in your head, because once again, your universe does not know the difference between you being there and a story that you're seeing on television or that somebody is telling you. And so understand this. We're going to go back to, because if you haven't seen my videos about who's manipulating the media and how all of these things are coming about and why, go back and look at that video. But there's manipulation going on with respect to the media, which is why most of the things you're seeing are so negative. You're not seeing positive coming on the television. You know, when you watch the news, even most of the shows, they're just negative. So you've got to be mindful of that, because those are seeds being planted in your head. What are you talking about, Diva? I'm just watching the show. They can't put nothing, especially people in North America. Y'all are so deep in a cesspool of garbage with respect to the media. I can't even explain it to you until you leave that place. Once you leave that place, then you'll understand and you'll be able to look back and say, oh man, they really had me programmed. Because when you're constantly being bombarded by these negative images, and even when you are looking at your feed and people are sending you these, you ever seen those videos in your thing? This is going to really make you sad, or this is going to really piss you off. Well, then you don't want to be clicking on that, because I don't want to be sad and I don't want to be angry. There's some movie out now about, I don't know, I won't even name it. I don't want to name it. But basically, people are saying when they watch it, it angers them. It makes them feel some kind of way. Why would you want that kind of energy? Because remember, everything you think is an energy, and it must, by law, go and check out the universal laws. It must be returned to you. If you think it, you have put it into dimension, and it will be returned to you. So when somebody is showing you these movies or this news or these videos that are coming through your feed, you want to be mindful about not checking them out in your mind, because you will manifest it. You will manifest it. As soon as you think it, it's done. And then when you speak it, we don't understand how powerful we are. We run around talking about the powers that be. You are the power that be. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these videos or whatever, that you want to limit that. You want the videos, whatever you want is what you want to be putting in your mind. If you want positive things happening with you, then you need to be watching positive videos. You need to be watching videos of people doing positive things, doing happy things, doing fun things, because that's what you're going to manifest. If all of your videos you're watching every day are just about negativity, well, okay, you're manifesting that, whether you realize it or not. Whether it be about racism, whether it be about police brutality, or even with Caucasians, where they think melanated people are all thieves and robbers, you're going to get that back because you're manifest. And if you're watching the news, you are being manipulated. If you're watching the news, you are being manipulated. If you're watching the news, you are being manipulated. Whether it doesn't matter how intelligent you are and how mindful you think you are. If you're watching the news, you are being manipulated. All right. So that's just hands down bottom line. All right. Now understand, once again, when we're thinking thoughts, we're planting seeds, and they will grow, especially if you keep watering them. How do you water a seed? Whatever it is that you're continuously putting in your mind, you're watering it. Let's understand this. Now I have to tell people, this what we see in the three-dimensional, this is just a reflection of who you are. Everything in your third dimension is only a reflection. What's really going on is a reflection of what's in your mind. All right. Everything in the third dimension is a reflection of what is in your mind. So we've got to keep that in mind, because we keep thinking this third dimension is the real world. It is not. The real world is right up here. This is where everything starts. This is where everything is created. It's called feminine. And this goes for men and women. This is the feminine energy. This is where everything is started. This is the beginning. And once you put it in here, this is where it comes from. All right, all this stuff you're seeing, this is just afterthought. This is just a reflection, but it all started in the mind. So we have to keep that in mind. And also, when you're speaking something, you are bringing from here, from this mind, you're speaking it into existence. Learn those laws. Go and pull those laws down so that you can become familiar with them. And again, start to manipulate them, because I'm going to give you some examples of how I manipulated. I manipulate those laws all the time. This is how I live, doing what I love to do. And what do? I work for maybe about 6 to 8 hours the most a week, doing what I love. And I, wish for everybody to have that opportunity to do the same. All right. So, let's see. Learning to create your future. Now, again, I'm going to go back to this. The real world is right in your mind. We think this is the real world. It's not. The real world is up here. What we learn to do is to create our future by putting it here. Now, so instead of allowing someone, the news, or someone sending you a video through your inbox or what have you, to manipulate your mind, you're going to manipulate your own mind by putting in your mind your future. Now, remember, the universe responds to your emotions. All right. So one of the things I do with my clients is I show them how to manifest what they're wanting by putting emotions behind it. So when we go and we put a seed in our mind, or a thought is a seed. And we are thinking about this, whatever it is we want. Let's say it's a vacation. All right. We're going to go there right here. We're going to go there first. This is how we create the future. We're going to go there. What am I saying? We're going to think about, first of all, what it's like when we go walking through the airport. What is that like? We're going to be thinking about, how excited we are. Who are we with? How are we feeling about the person we're with? What are we wearing? We're walking through the airport. We get on the plane. What is that plane ride like? What is it when we get there and we get off of the plane and we're where is our hotel room? What does it look like? What do we feel as we're seeing what our hotel room looks like? And we're looking down on all of these, these pools and this beautiful, scenery, and we're looking out at the ocean or the lake or wherever it is we are, and we're walking on the sand. How does it feel when the sun is hitting you? When you're doing that, you have put yourself into the future. This is the real world right here. So when you put it up here, just like when you put a negative thought, when you put that positive thought, you're thinking it. And then when you speak it, I'm going on my vacation. Wherever it is, Hawaii, Honolulu, I don't know, wherever it is you want to go. When you put it in your mind, it's there. See, then when you start, we're going to start pulling up images of Hawaii and looking at it. We're going to start pulling up some videos. Again, instead of putting the negative images in your head to create negativity, we're going to put the positive in. I'm going on my vacation, and this is where I'm going. And then you feel it. When you feel it, the universe has to respond. This is law, because you put out an energy. And just like with the universal laws, and understand, when I say law, I'm not talking about like man's law, like, maybe it might be, maybe it won't be. This person did this thing, and then the universe, they didn't get prison time, but this person did. No, universe is going to return the energy that you put out. If you're putting positive energy and she is feeling you on that vacation, she has to respond by law, by law. And so you will get it when you put it in your mind, and you do other things, like I said, watching the videos, checking the pictures. And then we're going to start going to the next level and just going after the plane ticket to get there. We're going to start booking the hotel room. All right. Once you put it here and then you speak it, the next thing we're going to do is do actions to get it. So these are just some ways that we learn to create the future. And again, the future is here. Once you put it here and then you speak it out your face, it must be. Now all you got to do is put the action, and the actions are going to be much easier once you get it instilled here, and the universe is in sync with you and she feels you. All right. So again, we create the future by putting the energy into the dimension from a mental perspective. Your mind, that feminine energy, is the most important thing. Now let me talk about the different types of currency, because one of the things we're not getting is that we think we're going to pay for everything with Federal Reserve notes. Federal Reserve notes. Federal Reserve notes are a form of enslavement. All right. It's a way to capture your energies, and they put it into the form of Federal Reserve notes. The thing is, the Federal Reserve notes have made us feel and believe that things are scarce. All right. When we're dealing with Federal Reserve notes, we're dealing with scarcity. We're dealing with hoarding. And the thing is, and I won't go deep into this tonight because I just want to get on these techniques. I'm trying to get through this so I can get to the techniques. Live in abundance. And when you know that you're living in abundance, then you will understand you don't need a Federal Reserve note to create anything that you want. You don't. And I had to tell, I'm going to tell you what I had to go through with one of my clients because she wasn't understanding what I was saying. Because we were going through several things where she thought, oh, I'm going to have to pay this and I'm going to have to pay that. And I'm like, whatever is behind those dollar signs, it does not pertain to you. It doesn't. Because money doesn't exist. Money doesn't exist. I'm going to say it again because somebody missed it. Money does not exist. It's not real. You remember Matrix? I'm going to go to this movie real quick and I'm going to get off the subject. Remember that little boy, the little bald-headed boy with that spoon? And he had that spoon and he said, and Neo was looking at him bending the spoon. And the boy said, what you have to realize is that the spoon doesn't really exist. When you learn to bend your mind, then it's really your mind that's bending and not the spoon. Okay, how do you put that application into this world, Diva? That's a movie. Well, this ain't a movie. This ain't nothing but a movie either. And I had to show my clients, I have to show them regularly that when we're talking about these little Federal Reserve notes, I show them how to deal with the situation where they don't even need Federal Reserve notes. Once they change their mind, they learn to get all of these things that everybody else is paying Federal Reserve notes for, and they haven't had to pay one penny because they changed their mind. All right. We're going to look at some of that. I'm going to, because all of that is manifesting as well. It's just manifesting. Once you learn to change your mind, all kind of things come to you. So I'm going to different forms of currency or payment. All right. Now, Federal Reserve notes or dollars, all dollars, money. It is not money. I keep doing money like this because it's not really money. It's just currency. Currency. All right. Now, notice that term currency, and you're going to hear me use the other term energy. Energy and currency. And that's all this dimension is. It's just energies. It's currency. Everything you're seeing is an energy or that's being directed one way or the other. Everything is just energy. All right. And it takes us, you got to do some studying to really get a grasp of it. You're going to have to repeat it over and over and over and over and over. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. But one day it's going to hit you. All right. So, but just listen, just hear me. And then, try to reflect on it later. The different currencies, Federal Reserve notes, okay, is a currency. Physical energy, where you go to your job and you sit down and you type all day, or you chop up wood all day, or whatever it is, you move boxes all day. That is physical energy, also known as masculine energy. Right? That's the where you're doing something, you're working or whatever. All right. And masculine energy is cool because the universe returns to you more over masculine energy than what you're getting paid at your job. The problem is you accept these Federal Reserve notes and then you don't understand to put that masculine energy to work for you on another level. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. The other one is emotional energy or feminine energy. These are the energies where you're using your mind to create first. All right. So again, when we start to understand how powerful the feminine energy is, that's why you hear people talking all the time. Love is the key. Love is the key, because when you are thinking up here, what you're wanting, there's an emotion of love behind it. then it manifests faster. So when you're wanting the positive things to come to you and you're putting an emotion of love, remember, all the universe is responding to is your energy. So if your energy that you're putting behind whatever thought it is love, it's got more power behind it. Let me get into, what the power of feminine energy is. I'm going to give you some examples because, when I say feminine energy to males, and this is the sad thing, when I say this to males, I ain't got no feminine energy. And it's like, well, you better get you some. How about that? You better get you some, because the feminine energy is where the power is. And that's from up here. Remember, this little third dimensional world and all this, I'm gonna get some land and I'm gonna get some, this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make some money. That is, your power is right here. The difference between the feminine energy. The feminine energy, the masculine energy is where I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna protect myself with my knife and my gun. That's the masculine energy. The feminine energy has the ability to create the situation to where you never need the knife or the gun in the first place. That's the feminine energy, where you create the situation, you create your world up here to where nobody's gonna mess with me in this world anyway, because my energies are in order. That's the difference between feminine and the masculine. The feminine energy makes the whole army disappear. All this, no weapons formed against me. You get to that point when you understand your feminine energy. That's real. No weapons formed against me. All that, these little sayings in the Bible, and you hear these Christians saying it all the time. Those are real. Those come from universal laws. And again, when we talk about no weapons formed against me, let's understand that. If you don't put out an energy, it cannot come back to you. If you put out an energy, it must come back to you. If you put out love, love must come back to you. If you put out negativity and harmful things, harmful energy, where you're hurting people, that's going to come back to you. And if you're not understanding the difference between your feminine energy and your masculine energy, you're going to continue to create situations that bring about this danger and this hell that you feel like you're living in, because you are not maintaining and managing your feminine energy. This is where it all starts. This is where all the power is. This third dimension, this is just the reflection. So when something is happening in this reflection, I already know. See, I know, because I know the laws. You can try to tell me, oh, I ain't never stole nothing from nobody. I never did nothing negative. Well, the universe is saying something totally different. And I believe the universe because she doesn't lie. So you can tell me out your mouth whatever you want to tell me. But when you know the laws, people can't be, they can try to be dishonest, but unless you got cognitive dissonance and you're ignoring what these laws say and you stuck in your emotions, well, you're going to believe what's coming out of their face, but the universe doesn't lie. So I've said this again, when you see somebody getting something stolen from them, or they're always getting something stolen all the time, the universe is showing you a thief. And they're going to tell, I didn't steal nothing. And you're going to look at them, and you're going to think, this is a good person. Well, the universe is saying something different. And see, we think that we can get away with doing things in the dark, but whatever's done in the dark must come to the light. That's another universal law. So if they're getting an energy coming to them, it's because they put it out. So now what we want to do is learn to put out the energies that we want to return to us. All right. So I talked about that feminine energy, again, is very, very powerful. And I deal with this with my sisters a lot, who I am, my clients, who I'm walking through these procedures and these processes where they'll go down and, for example, deal with the county, because this is where most of my clients go, where they have to go to the county and they have to deal with these people. Well, there's a lot of blocking when you go to the county. They're going to tell you, oh, we don't know, and oh, go over here, and they're going to tell you go over there, and no, you can't do it here, and you can't file this, and then they'll come back to me, and I have to watch myself because I'm almost living. I'm like, They are blocking you. And I'm just going off and I'm like, look, you tell them this, that, and that. You know what? The sisters will say to me, they'll say, you know what, Diva? I'm going back down there tomorrow and I'm going to get this filed without any problem. And it's, you know, it's like they put it in their mind. And all they have to do is say, you know what, I'm going to get this resolved tomorrow. And when I talk to you tomorrow, I will have filed this document. And just like that, every time, if I hadn't seen it work so many times, it would, you know, I wouldn't be able to sit here in disbelief, almost disbelief, because I know it's real. As soon as they put it in their mind, you know what, Diva, don't worry about it. It'll be done tomorrow. And that's exactly what happens, because they just put it up here and then they spoke it out of their face. When you speak it, it must be. This is how powerful we are. And that might seem like something small, but I'm telling you how huge it is when you learn how to control your energies, what's in your mind, and how to speak what you're wanting. Let me go into some actual techniques now. We're gonna talk about manifesting energies first. You know, and this is simple, because when we're talking about manifesting energies, we're basically saying getting back what you want. So, okay, when we're talking about manifesting with energies, for example, I had situations where, for example, I would have males call me a feminist. Because when I put out the facts about, you know, what a woman is and what a male is, and, you know, some of the things that I put out, they're not pretty. They're not pretty, and towards male or female. But I would at times get males calling me feminist, and then I had to remember, once again, they're a reflection of me. For whatever reason, they are seeing me as being against them or being some kind of way negative to them, and they are my reflection. And so what I had to do was look at that and say, okay, I want to manifest a different energy between me and the brothers. I don't want that situation there. And so I have to put out some kind of energy, because in my mind, I'm thinking, no, I'm not feminist. I don't dislike my brothers. I don't have any issues with the male at all. But they were reflecting back to me, well, yes, you do. You're a feminist and blah, blah, blah. And so instead of me taking that personally, what I had to do was to do something on a masculine level with my masculine energies, rather, so that I can get the energy in return that I wanted from my brothers. I want love. I want us to not have a situation where, you know, they just thinking I'm being feminist, but they can see my words and know that they're facts, because I'm not about being or dissing my brother. I love my brother, and I want that to be clear. And so it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do? So what I decided to do was now this is me using masculine energies as well to bring about the response that I wanted from my brothers. But it's like, I'm going to do something kind for the brothers. I want to find a way where I can give something to my brothers to show that, first of all, I appreciate what they do in the community. I appreciate how they are. And so what I did, I decided, okay, I want to give away I gave away some shirt and tie sets is what I did. And, you know, and I let them choose whichever ones they want. But what I had was like it was kind of like I would say it wasn't a competition, but it was just, listen, I want all of the brothers to come on page and tell me all of the good things that they have done in the community. And it was just a lot of fun for me. I got the sisters involved, and we were able to, you know, vote on you know, it wasn't a lot of guys, but, you know, it was like, okay. And it wasn't, you don't have to have proof, but if you got something to show about an article, a news article or whatever, just show something saying what you do in the community, so that all of us sisters you love and tell you how much we appreciate what you do. And so that's what I did. And I got the sisters involved, and we did a little vote, and then I, you know, mailed all of them, you know, a t-shirt and tie set. It's really nice. And I just appreciated being able to do that, and appreciated the brothers joining in on that. And, you know, once I did that, again, I wasn't getting that anymore. I wasn't getting that energy of you're a feminist, you're this and that and that. And it was because, again, once you put out love, when you give love, it must come back to you. And so I don't really get that kind of, I don't get it at all. Once I had to change my energies towards my brothers. Right. So I had to change my energies towards my brother. When I did that, and like I said, I did use some masculine energy, meaning, getting the t-shirts and, doing the thing on the post and sending them out to the brothers. But that was me showing love. And again, that changed the energies that all males, because there were males who didn't even know that I did that. Whereas, at some point they might have called me a feminist, but they didn't, because they were able to receive what I was saying without feeling threatened or without feeling dissed. That was just me putting out that feminine, or that feminine energy, so that I can return that positive energy to me. Now I'm going to talk about manifesting things. So, okay. Now I was just talking about manifesting energies. All right, let me give an example so I can move on from manifesting energies. If you have a situation where you feel that someone's being negative towards you, you don't change that energy by being negative towards them. It doesn't work that way, because whenever you put out that negative energy, it must come back. But when you learn how to put out a positive energy towards that person, or in any situation, also remember this, because this is what we forget, we don't understand. Just because you're getting that energy from this person, by the way, if you're getting that energy, you put it out. If you're getting a negative energy from somebody, it's because you put it out. Now, what you want to do is be mindful of putting out positive energy towards everyone when you're dealing with them, because again, it'll be an energy that you forget about, that you're not even thinking about, that you put out, and it's got to come back to you. How can you do this? Let's give an example, let's say, of a work situation where you're there and you go to work and you just don't feel like these people have any respect for you, or blah, blah, blah. One thing you can do, and I talk about putting out, positive energies, while doing it with masculine energies. All right, this is what you do. Let's say you take in some cookies to everybody, something just very inexpensive. You can make them if you want to, or some brownies or whatever, because I love brownies. That's why I make them and I give them away. But whatever it is, just you're doing it out of love, and you just want to present something to them, just to say, hey, everybody, here's some donuts, here's some, cookies, here's some whatever. And you present that to them, and you don't understand how far those kind of gestures go, especially when you're talking about food. They go a long way. So that's just something small. If you're getting a negative energy, for example, like I said, say it's work, or in your work environment, find a way to put a positive energy into that space. All right, do it once a month or once every 2 weeks, however often you want to do it, but create a positive energy such that the only thing that can come back to you in that environment is positivity. All right, that's what you have to do. All right, now manifesting, that's manifesting. Going on to manifesting things, I'm gonna give you an example of some things that I manifest, because I talk about how I travel a lot, and I would make a lot of money. Because I would stay in hotels or whatever. I'm paying per night, per day, per night. It's a lot of money, and I would be making a lot of money. But one of the things I was like, I don't want to be stressing about. Okay, I got 3 bills, by the way: where I live, what I eat, and my transportation. That is it. That's all I worry about: where I live, what I eat, and my transportation. And I like it that way. And what I tend to do is find ways to eliminate. Like I've learned to eliminate everything else. I was like, I don't even have to deal with that. But then I learned ways to eliminate my transportation, and I learned ways to eliminate my where I live. Now I'm gonna give you an example. I was traveling a lot, and I was staying in hotels, I was like, you know what? I want a nicer hotel, and I don't want to have to worry about making payments. So I remember, you know what? And again, I use the universal laws. Whatever you put out must come back. Now, one of the things about the universal law and the law of compensation is when it brings, it's going to bring it back many times over. All right, many times over. So if I put out $1, I know I'm getting 5 back in most cases. Like, you know, it could be more than that, but I know at least 5. That's what I've learned because I've, you know, as I try to manipulate these laws and understand what's going on, I know it's at least 5. I mean, we've all seen that. I'll go into that example. But with the hotel, I remember I said, you know what? I am going to give away a hotel room tonight. I'm going to pay for somebody's hotel room because I was doing a show at a hotel that had booked me. It was a client of mine. And I had, you know, I was like, I'm going to, whoever, I don't know how I'm going to give it away, but I'm going to give it away. So after the show, I had this young lady, and she came up to me, and she was like, oh, Diva, thank you so much for your music, and oh, my blah, blah, blah. And she, you know, she gave me a tip, and, you know, just really appreciative of my music. And I thanked her. And then what I did after that show, right to the concierge of the front desk, and I paid for her hotel room. And I put, you know, I gave him the cash in an envelope, and I was like, I want you to put it towards her room. And I let it go, and I didn't think anything about it. But about within a week, maybe 4 days, 5 days later, and I was searching for, you know, my hotel room for the next state that I was going to. And I went into this hotel, and, you know, the guy, I said, you have any hotel rooms? He said, yeah. And he showed me the hotel room. And I was like, well, how much is this? It was nice, very nice hotel room. He said, well, this is $800. And I was like, okay. He's like, but you can have it for $4. He's like, how long you staying? And I was like, probably about a week. He's like, yeah, you can have it for $4. And then he says to me, well, what do you do? And I said, I sing. You know, because of course, you know, I'm dark. I got my melanated skin down here, and of course, I stand out. It's like, what do you want, vacation? What do you do? I said, I sing. I sing jazz, blues, funk, rock, hip hop, cumbia. So I tell him all this stuff that I see. He's like, you sing. And then he says to me right off, he's like, listen, we got a group down here, and would you be interested in singing for the group? You know, would you do a show for them? And I was like, yeah. Now, at this time, first of all, my thing was, I don't like money. And I had to, you know, I'm redeveloping my relationship with money, but it's like, I don't like to use money. I'm like, we can barter. And I told him, I was like, look, I tell you what, how about we barter? I'll stay here 5 days and I do your show. And look, I need y'all to understand something. Because that's the universe working. All right. I had put out to this sister, so I paid her room or whatever. It's a lady, not a sister, but I paid her room off. And here I am getting ready to get 5 days. Now, not only that, no, free to do what I love to do. Now, understand, when I sing, I get paid a lot of money too. Like when they tip, I get paid more money in tips than what the dang on show would pay me, or the place that hired me would pay me. So not only am I, you know, it's taking care of my room, that's taken care of. And then transportation and food is taken care of when I sing and do what I love to do. That's just one example. I do it all the time with all kind of stuff, whether it be water, whether it be, you know, like I said, transportation, all of that. But that's just manifesting because, again, when I paid for this woman's hotel room, it was out of love. It was like, you know, she showed me so much love. I want to show her some love. And that was me putting back into the universe. Well, guess what? The universe gave it back to me many times over. I said 5, but I got 5 days in that hotel room, plus transportation taken care of, plus food. That's me manifesting. That I do that all the time. That's all. Even the place I'm in now, and now I get these for months, and I don't pay anything because of how I manifested. So these are the things I'm talking about when I say You know, money is not real, and you don't really need Federal Reserve notes to get what you're looking for. You know, I wanted this nicer hotel room, and I got it. And then finally, I started saying, I want a house. I want a place. I want a place to stay. And I got it. And I ain't paying nowhere near what the people here pay for it. You know, so it's like, again, just learning to manifest, put the energies out, and recognize that currency, or these Federal Reserve notes, is currency, and that you redirect it to you with the energy. I'm going to go deeper into that in a few minutes, because this is getting long, and I don't want it to be too long. Now, that's manifesting things. All right, this is how I manifest things. If I look, going back to this, if you want it, you must give it away. That's another law that a friend of mine kept telling me. If you want it, you must give it away. If you want a hotel room, give one away. All right, so I paid for her hotel room, and I got, for one night, I got 5 nights. All right, this is what I mean when I say 1 to 5. And it really is more than that. When you learn how to really use your energies, it could be 1 to 10, 1 to 20. So when I say 1 to 5, if I put $1 out or 1 peso out, I'm going to get 5 pesos or dollars back. All right, that's 1 to 5. That is the law of compensation to work for me. All right, now that's with things. Let's talk about Reserve notes and how to manifest those, since that's, you know, look, we got to understand Federal Reserve notes are like, you know, people think it's the end all be all. You got to live. You can't live without money. That's a lie. That's a lie. That lie. You can. You just have to learn how to do it. All right. The problem is we've been made to think that Federal Reserve notes is what we're supposed to have. It's a tool of enslavement. But since y'all like this tool of enslavement, I'm going to give you some ideas about how to bring it back to you. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about this type of person that all of us know. And this is the type, that woman, that sister, because, you know, melanated women know how to manifest if they can't do anything else. And I'm talking about that sister who, that Frankie Beverly Mays show come around, concert, or that Anita Baker concert come around, and she don't have rent, she don't have car note, children hungry, but she has got it in her mind, I'm going to that concert. I'm going to see Frankie Beverly Mays. I'm gonna have my hair done. I'm gonna have my outfit, and I'm gonna take my girl with me. We going to that Frankie Beverly concert. It's already up here. And remember, once you plant the seed, and then she gonna say it, I'm going to that concert, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. She has already manifested it because she already sees herself there. Now let's understand this. I said, you know, she really didn't have money for the rent, the car note, the children, the feed. But she's gonna pay $80 for those tickets, right? $40 for her, $40 for her girl. She's gonna pay $250 for that outfit. She's gonna get the shoes and the nice dress or whatever she get to wear. Cause honey, I'm gonna look good and I'm getting my hair done. That's $80. She has spent $400 on this concert. Now, when she gets there to that concert, now she's doing, again, this is in her mind. And in her mind, remember, the universe only responds to your feelings, energies. In her mind, she is having a ball at this Frankie Beverly and Mays concert. She is singing every song. Whoa, whoa. She's singing every song. You make me happy. You know, all of that. She is in it. She's feeling it. Universe already the universe is responding to what she has already created. She's feeling it. And guess what? When she does that, she's gonna put out $400 and she's put a positive energy on the currency. Understand what I did? She has put out $400 worth of currency, but she put a positive energy on the currency. I'm going back to the law of compensation, which states that whatever you put out must come back. And when it returns, it's going to return to you many times over. If I'm talking about 1 to 5, if I'm talking about 1 to 5, and she done put out 400, and it's all positive currency because she went to that concert. She went to the concert before she actually physically went, but she went to the concert physically. She had a ball. It was the best thing she could have done for herself. She has peace and happiness and love because she did something for herself, and she had a ball. 1 to 5. This is by law. The universe must return it to you if you put it out. When she put that positive energy behind that currency, she put out 400, but how much must come back to her by law? How much is the rent? 800. How much is the car note? 500. And those are high. Those are like on the high side of average. Does she have enough money to pay her children? That money must come back to her by law. Again, I'm talking about universal laws. I'm talking about mama's laws. Is that when you put that energy out, it must come back. And so one of the things that I tell my clients, you have to treat your money like you would treat a man. What are you talking about, Diva? Treat a man. Okay, let's understand this. If you, let's say you have a man, your husband, spouse, boyfriend, whatever, and he is currency. Remember, everything is currency. The man is currency, the water is currency, the computer is currency. So when you put a positive energy on the currency, you're going to determine how it comes back to you. So you and your man get up early in the morning, and you feed him, and you tell him you love him, and you send him out, and he's happy, and you happy, and he goes out, and everybody whom he touches and comes in contact with, he's giving them good energy. Hey, how you doing, miss? Hey, you look nice. Hey, it's a great day, isn't it? Beautiful day. And then when it's time for him to come back home, he's driving, he parks in the car, he gets right out of the car and comes in the house and kisses you, and hey, baby, I love you, I had a great day, blah. And he is currency. Y'all wake up in the morning and you pissed off. Who this heifer that keep liking all your videos on Facebook, and who is this? Every time I look at your damn phone, who is this? It's a new wench in here every time. Who is this? And you giving him hell when you send him out. Now he gets to work and he can't stand to see nobody. He's getting in arguments with this coworker and that coworker, and he can't stand the boss, and he's aggravated. Now, when it's time for him to come back home, if he comes back home, he might park in the driveway. He's going to sit out there for a minute. Do I want to go in here and deal with this? If he comes in, and if he comes in, he's got a nasty stank energy on him from when he left in the morning. Your money is the same way. Your money is the same way. Your money is the same way. When you go and you pay for a bill, and in your heart, you are putting this negative energy on this currency, like, God, I can't stand George Power. Oh, if I slap every heifer up in here, I can't stand George Power. And if that's your energy that you're putting on this money, whether you're writing a check or whether you are giving them Federal Reserve notes, then it's going to come back to you just like the man, if it comes back at all. When you are putting out currency, whether it be a human, whether it be your child, your man, or your Federal Reserve notes, you want to put a positive energy on that currency. What am I saying? You want to be thankful. You know what? I'm so thankful that I got this cell phone, and that I can, that I even have the money to pay it. I'm happy because, I can stay connected with my mother. I can stay connected with my dad, my children. So I'm very fortunate to be able to pay for this cell phone. And I'm happy to give them this money That needs to be your energy that you put on those Federal Reserve notes. When you're paying for your house note, I'm thankful for this house. You know, I got my nice garden in the back. You know, I get to do this and that and that. Because remember, when you put that energy out with a positive energy, when you put that currency out with a positive energy, what does the law of compensation say? What does the law? It doesn't matter, because remember, the universe doesn't know the difference between the only thing it's responding to is yours. So it's not, the universe don't care if, you know, it's a house note or if it's the Frankie Beverly and Mays tickets. It doesn't care. If you put that energy behind it, the way she sent this woman this $2,000 back with those Frankie Beverly and Mays tickets, it's the same way she gonna send you your money back with your house note, your car note, your cell phone bill, all of that. When you go to pay for your food, don't be like, this don't make no damn sense. How much I had to pay for this lemon? It's a lemon. How much you want me to pay? How much? Don't be angry about it. Be happy and thankful that you have the money to get it. And you know what? This is gonna be this lemon right here. This is gonna take care of me, you know, and it's gonna really put some nutrients in my body. I'm thankful to have it. And you know, I don't care that it costs $10. I'm good with that because, you know, it's gonna help me. $10 is gonna come back to you. Look, the money doesn't exist anyway. It doesn't exist. So when you put it out, put a positive energy behind the currency and it must come back to you. Treat your money like you treat a man, your man. If you want him to come back to you, put a good currency behind, put a good energy behind him, and the currency must come back to you by law. All right. Do I have any questions? Let me see. I wasn't looking on this. Let me see. Hola, amigo. Brian, let's see. Yamila. Let's see if it's gonna let me scroll through here. Hello, can I scroll? Okay, I got 2 comments. But yeah, I hope you all are, you know, I hope I gave you some image, you know, yeah, imagination, yes. But you got to understand, Brian, it's not just your imagination. That's the real world. See, we think like the dream world. Like I had a friend, you know, and a client who was asking me about a dream. I can't tell you about dreams because I haven't learned the rules of that world, because that's the real world. Your dream world, this is the fake world. I know the laws for this. This one's easy to manipulate. But I can't tell you about dreams, but I can tell you about this and manipulating it. So yeah, we call it imagination, but you know, you want to remember that your mind, the stinking thinking, your mind is the real world. Okay, and that's how you create your future. That's how you walk in it. Because really, and this will be another session. I can't go into it now, but this is the past, present, future, right here, right now. And whatever you're thinking is what is going to generate what happens in your future. So be mindful about staying away from people who have stinking thinking. Uh-oh, I had a question. Let me see if I can get to it. Because my, how do we do this with all, oh, hold on a second. See if I can get to it. How do we do this? I'm a new friend on your Facebook. Thanks a lot for considering me. You're welcome, Mansilla, Noy Mansilla. God is my source. Yes, and you are the God, Lisa. I hope you know that. Noy, you say like a sound of Nina Simone. Yeah, I sound like I don't have, but I have. Okay. Oh, that's a song, a Nina Simone song. I don't have, but I have. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you, Lisa. I had a question. My little thing kept scrolling past it. How do we do this with all elements of our lives? Okay, good question, Lisa. Let me see if I can answer that within 30 seconds. All right. With all elements, you got to remember, everything starts in the mind. All right, everything starts in the mind. This is the real world right up here. All right, right up here. This thing that we see in the third dimension, you got to remember, and sometimes you're going to have to keep, you're going to have to keep saying it to yourself. This is not the real world. And also remember, it is a reflection of what is going on up here. Everything in your dimension is a reflection of what's going on up in here. And what I had to remember, and I'm ready to close out, what I had to remember is, wait a minute. You may tell me I'm making all this up. I'm the one who is responsible for creating all of this stuff in my dimension. Everything is an energy. Well, then, doggone it, I'm ready to make it be what I want it to be. And when I start doing that and I start developing that type of mentality, then things started to change. And this is how you change it, where you start, you remember that everything is up here. Everything is about your energies. And then if you get those universal laws and learn how to manipulate it, remember some of them that are really good for me. If you want it, you must give it away. If you want it, you must give it away. If you want love, give it away. If you want water, give it away. If you want more money, be willing to give it away and feel good about giving it away. And be willing to do things for yourself. Because when you do things for yourself, you're putting into the universe. You are the universe. So make yourself happy. All right. Treat yourself well. And then the universe must return that to you. And then do the same for others. Treat others well. And the universe must return that to you. Okay, Diva, that's manifesting techniques. I hope some of this helped you all. Hit me in the inbox if you all want to talk to me or whatever. You have questions or, you know, I'd love to go through it. I love this stuff. I love these subjects. And I got time because I do what I want to do. This is my life. This is my world. This is my universe. Diva Laree, I'm out. Peace.